Hello everybody, this is Cholera, and welcome to another commentary. That is right, this is Reach versus Really, played on February 15th, 2009, in the Winners League match between Ace and eSTRO. There's the man toss on the left. He's fighting C Really, a decent, sort of not really that great B-level Terran player on Team eSTRO. He did manage to beat Casey, though, in the first matchup, so we'll see if Reach manages to break his tiny reign of terror here on the Air Force Ace team. I do have high hopes for Reach. He has been doing quite well since making his comeback last month, I feel, considering that, you know, for somebody who just went to the Air Force and who hasn't played one-on-one for literally 2 years, I believe, or a year and a half before that. So, you know, we'll see how he does here. He did manage to beat 4GG, let's not forget, in the match between Air Force Ace and Oz, which I just casted a few days ago. So this is on Colosseum II. There is Park Jun-suk on this, the Reach man toss on the upper right, and we have C Really, who is about 36% against Terran on the, I'm sorry, it's 36% against Protoss on the bottom left in green. And, you know, Reach is definitely known for his very macro-heavy Protoss versus Terran style. He's very expansion-heavy and sort of low-tech style, actually. At least back in the day, that is the style he used to beat Boxer. He would expand everywhere and then throw lots and lots of low-tech units against Boxer. And, you know, Boxer in his autobiography wrote that he was completely not up for dealing with that. He didn't know what hit him, basically, and he was unable to react properly, and that's why Reach, the man toss, managed to beat him in an OSL back when Boxer was the complete dominant player in the StarCraft scene. I believe that was in 2002, was it? But regardless, it was definitely you know, a good series. Yeah, 2002 OSL. You can watch it in my account, of course. I did a lot of these Blast from the Past series when I just started, about 700 video parts ago. Pretty scary stuff, how many videos I've done. Not 700 games, but I have a feeling I've done, if you include the Vile Attack games, maybe like 600 games since I started almost a year ago. Definitely a lot of games, and you know, it is definitely fun for me, and I'm glad that a lot of people have supported me in doing this. But anyway, so the man toss, Park Jun-suk, doing well, coming back into, you know, pro gaming, into one-on-one pro gaming especially, and you know, we'll see how he does on this map. It's about 50-50 Terran versus Protoss, although I do think the Protoss definitely starts hurting in the late game if they can't finish off the Terran. In the early game, in the mid game, they can contain the Terran and really expand to a lot of places, but once that Terran metal comes out, if they can get a decent contained position on the Protoss, on one of either their expansions or their main base entrances, that could be just game for the Protoss right there. And, you know, if you remember some of Flash's games against the best Protosses on this map, you can see that every time. That's what he likes to do, is that really strong timing attack. And here we're seeing from Reach, looks like it was a fairly standard gateway gas there, although I'm wondering if he put down a Nexus before all that. Can't tell at the natural expansion. I think he might have gone for 12 Nexus, in fact, but we'll have to just check that. Here we're seeing Reach, no, Really, has managed to get sort of a wall in. It's going to be Zealot proof. Actually, it's going to be Probe proof also. So yeah, that is a wall in there. Interesting position. No, it's not Probe proof. Never mind, it was just blocked, but regardless, it's going to be fine. Yeah, and it was exactly that. It was actually a 12 Nexus. So Reach going for a very macro opening here, and he's going to be doing pretty well here. It doesn't seem like Really's going to scout him for a long time. He's just now scouting the center of the map, and he might even be scouting the right direction afterwards. He's going to go for a fast expand after Factory, though. So it's not going to put him that far behind against Reach, but Reach will be at a significant advantage, though, still, going into the mid-game. So nice work by Reach, and, you know, it's lucky that he is on cross positions here on Colosseum II. We're going to probably sit down and watch a decently length game now, unless something surprising happens, which I don't really expect it to, unless maybe Reach puts down like a, you know, a Forge and then cannons up the Natural or something like that of the Terran base from that ramp. I've seen Cal do that once, and that was pretty darn pimp, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. Reach getting 2 gateways up and range for his Dragoons. It's a standard follow-up after doing a 12 Nexus because you really are afraid of the Terrans seeing what you've done and then going for some sort of all-in push. So you want to have those 2 gateways producing for you and getting a large number of Dragoons. And also you can afford it, of course. And here's Reach blocking the SCV. Very smart move there. And I don't think the SCV has had a chance to scout the Nexus. Now, being a smart player, or at least being a decent player, so he really probably knows there's something going on. Either there was a Nexus, or there's some tech hidden somewhere. So he definitely was trying to find that with his SCV, but he can't be sure, though, because he didn't see it. And, that is going to favor in Reach's, favor for Reach in this matchup here. Looks like the probe's getting chased away a bit, but here's Reach with 2 Dragoons, and in fact, look at that timing. It's actually quite good. He still will be able to put a little bit of a contain and stop further SCVs, and, this is why 12 Nexus is good if you can get away with it in Protoss versus Terran. So we'll see what tech Reach decides to go for next. The standard follow-up is to go for a robotics facility and observers, or to go for some Reaver harass afterwards. Both are very viable options here. And here we're seeing the standard macro Terran build here, going to get a relatively early engineering bay to deal with harassment and DTs, and then probably going to follow it up with an armory with just 1 factory up. That's the standard flash build against Protoss players, of course. And there we see robotics facility going up for Reach, and there's the 1 fact armory for C really. Very, very standard build nowadays, and definitely a strong build, Protoss versus Terran. You can get your early +2 attack, +1 armor, and then move out with that timing push. And it's very devastating against Protosses. It can often mitigate any kind of Protoss economic advantage they managed to pick up before that. Flash is the master of that. He definitely defeated many a Protoss back when he just sort of made that the standard. And what was actually happening a lot back then was that Protosses weren't going for Arbiters, they went for a lot of carriers, and that was especially strong against carriers. Goliaths, of course, benefit hugely with that +4 air attack per level of weapons, and obviously that makes them very powerful against carriers. Here we're seeing Reach putting down a couple more gateways, by the way, and those extra gateways led me to think that he's going to be going for a relatively early attack here, maybe even a Bulldog attack. We'll see. A Bulldog attack is an attack with Shuttle and Zealots to try to help break a Terran front. It is a relatively fast timing attack by the Protoss, but it requires pretty good pretty good micro, just pretty immaculate micro, in fact. And no, it doesn't look like he's actually going to go for that. He is going to expand once again, so he's going to probably play more of a defensive game. There is him killing off another scouting SCV, definitely what he needs to do. But otherwise, this game is quite tame opening up here, so, it is definitely a fairly standard macro opening for both players. And by the way, Commentator Idol videos will be up this weekend, and we are doing it differently this time around, of course. We're going to have the full videos of the contestants and the judges' responses from all 3 of our judges, and Nick Tesla's plot, of course. He's going to record himself from Korea with comments on each of the 4 videos, and only then will the contestants be voted on by you guys. And this week, actually, which I'm going to announce, of course, in the course of the episodes, all of the voting will be viewer-based. So the judges won't have their, 20% or 30%. It's going to be 100% viewers. So it's absolutely important for you guys to go watch those videos and vote. You can definitely consider the judges' opinions, but they won't be binding on anyone. I think this makes it obviously more like the real commentator, the real American Idol, where of course it's 100% viewer-generated with just advice from the judges. Now we are going to see a Bulldog attack here, just like I predicted originally, because there is a shuttle without a robotic support bay. This is going to be for that timing attack. We'll see if Reach decides to go for it. Of course, a shuttle is helpful no matter what, because it will allow him to be able to deal with any kind of Terran push with those Zealot bombs before the Terran can get some Goliaths up. And Reach is definitely going for it. You can